Man United transfer news, Ruben Amorim planning shock swoop for ex-Man City star. Hello Manchester fans. Welcome to a brand new video with today's latest updates. Before get into the video, please do click the like button and subscribe to the channel for more Manchester United latest updates. The 33-year-old is now in the final year of his contract with Juventus, meaning that he is free to engage in pre-contract discussions with foreign clubs from January onwards before a possible free transfer in 2025. Rather than let Danilo go for nothing next summer, the report suggests that Juventus would consider a sale in January, although a one-year option in his contract can be triggered based on his performances. Regardless, Danilo is apparently on the verge of leaving the Bianconeri, and his representatives have already been offering him to numerous teams across Europe, including Man United. The Brazil international spent 2 seasons with Man United's bitter rivals Manchester City from 2017 to 2019, winning 2 Premier League titles before joining Juve in a deal that saw João Cancelo move in the opposite direction. Danilo has now made 207 appearances for Juventus across all competitions, scoring 9 goals and setting up 13 more, and he has played 10 times for Thiago Motta's team in the current campaign. Why do Man United want to sign Danilo? The INEOS blueprint at Old Trafford so far has been centered around recruiting young talent, and even though Danilo may still have a few good years left in him, he is certainly not young for a footballer. The 33-year-old's arrival would therefore raise a few eyebrows, but he boasts title-winning experience in Spain, England and Italy, and Amorim apparently feels that he would be a solid defensive option to have. Danilo also wears the captain's armband for Juventus and could therefore be a useful addition to Man United's leadership group, while also potentially covering for any defensive departures next summer if he signs on until 2026 or 2027. Johnny Evans, Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof could all head for the exit door when the summer transfer window rolls around, complicating matters for Amorim if he does persist with his tried and tested 3-4-3 system. Euro, Martinez and De Ligt should be the manager's first-choice defensive line, but Danilo would be a competent backup option and useful stopgap signing if Man United decide to prioritize other areas of the pitch in 2025. Ruben Amorim wants Man United to sign Juventus defender in January. Manchester United have had an underwhelming start to the Premier League campaign. The Red Devils have lacked consistency with their performances and they are currently 13th in the table with only 12 points on the board. United host Leicester City at Old Trafford tomorrow. The club have a brilliant opportunity to jump up to 11th with a high-scoring victory. Ruben Amorim will formally take charge as the new manager from Monday, and it appears he has already started shortlisting his transfer targets. According to Juve Live, the Portuguese could urge United to make a shock approach for Danilo, whose contract with Juventus expires next summer. The Brazil international has been a key player for the Bianconeri, but his playing time has reduced under new manager Thiago Motta this campaign. The Bianconeri are prepared to sanction his sale in January for a nominal fee. It is reported that Amorim wants to bring the 33-year-old to Old Trafford. INEOS may not approve Danilo deal in January. Danilo has the ability to play anywhere in the backline. He is predominantly a right back, but has played more games in central defense for Juventus. The former Manchester City man has plenty of big game experience, and Amorim could be looking to bring his leadership to the United backline in January. However, INEOS could be reluctant to approve the deal. The club have changed their transfer policy with the focus on emerging talents and players in their prime. Danilo is in the final phase of his playing career. We don't see a deal happening in January unless the defender is signed on a short-term contract until June 30th. The 2-time Champions League winner could be considered as a temporary solution for Amorim, who prefers to operate with a 3-man central defense. Incoming Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim is apparently interested in bringing Juventus defender and ex-Manchester City star Danilo to Old Trafford next year. The Sporting Lisbon boss will officially take charge of the Red Devils on Monday, and his impending arrival has naturally sparked speculation as to who could follow him to Manchester. A plethora of Sporting stars, namely Victor Gyökeres and Giovanni Quenda, have been tipped to reunite with Amorim at Old Trafford, but he has insisted that he will not be poaching any players from the Portuguese side in January. The Red Devils are not expected to have a lot of money to splash over the win. Incoming Man United boss Ruben Amorim insists he won't sign any Sporting players in January but refuses to rule out raiding the Portuguese club next summer. Ruben Amorim revealed he won't sign any Sporting players in January. Amorim refused to rule out signing Sporting stars next summer. Incoming Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim has refused to rule out signing any Sporting players in the summer. Amorim is set to take charge of Sporting for the final time on Sunday when they face Braga away. Following that, Amorim will start work at United next week, with significant reinforcements required in the transfer market. Sporting have some high-quality players that would interest many top clubs, including striker Victor Gyökeres. Amorim, who has been in charge of Sporting since March 2020, hinted that he could raid the Portuguese club next summer. As reported by Ebola, Amorim said, "I will not sign any Sporting player at Man United in January, then, what happens in the summer I don't know. Sporting players are good players. We will see what happens." Amorim then commented specifically on winger Pedro Goncalves, who has scored 4 goals and provided 3 assists in 7 league games this season. According to Amorim, the 26-year-old is capable of playing in any team in the world. Amorim said, "He can play for any team in the world and with any player, because he is a great player. I could take him anywhere. He is very funny, which improves the personal relationship. But he is also very intelligent, but he also has to focus on Sporting because we have to be champions this year. But he could play in any team in the world." Gyökeres, meanwhile, boasts an incredible return of 23 goals in 17 appearances in all competitions for Sporting so far this season. Centre-back Goncalo Inacio and midfielder Morten Hjulmand are other Sporting players that Amorim could potentially target, according to The Sun. United appointed Amorim as their new permanent manager after sacking Erik ten Hag. Ruud van Nistelrooy will take charge of United's fixture at home to Leicester Sunday in his final game as interim boss. It remains to be seen if Amorim will keep Van Nistelrooy at Old Trafford as part of his coaching staff. Manchester United plotting cut-price January move for Lille's Jonathan David. Manchester United produced a flat display against PAOK and had to rely on 2 moments of individual brilliance from Amad Diallo to grab their first Europa League win of the season on Thursday. The remaining forwards struggled, especially Rasmus Højlund, who managed only 4 passes in 89 minutes. And despite his anonymous performance, Ruud van Nistelrooy had no choice but to keep him on. That is because summer signing Joshua Zirkzee has really struggled since his move from Bologna, and there are already question marks regarding his future. Whether incoming head coach Ruben Amorim can get the best out of the duo will determine how the season unfolds for the Red Devils. David being eyed. There are already murmurs that the Portuguese tactician will go after his Sporting Lisbon protégé Victor Gyökeres, who is in red-hot form, scoring 23 goals in only 17 games this season. But with plenty of other suitors in the race, it will not be that easy, and that is why the Old Trafford side are keeping their options open. Lille's Jonathan David, with 13 goals and 2 assists in 18 games, is back on the club's radar as per Corriere dello Sport, and his contract situation makes him an attractive target. The Canadian's current deal expires in 2025, and he has so far refused to sign a contract extension, and Lille are thus open to a January sale as they are looking to recoup a decent amount. While the 24-year-old's current market value stands at €45 million according to Transfermarkt, the League One side are open to moving him on for €20 million, with quite a few teams in the fray. Apart from the 20-time English League champions, Arsenal, Liverpool and Juventus are also interested, and it will be intriguing to see who ends up landing the Canadian. Juve, who could say goodbye to Milik in June, are exposed in attack. However, Jonathan David is highly sought after. Manchester United, not fully satisfied with the performance of Højlund and Zirkzee, have already made their move, but Arsenal and Liverpool have also made their inquiries. David had netted 26 goals last term and would make a fine addition to United's forward line, which looks bereft of confidence currently. They had tried to sign him in the summer as well before ultimately zeroing in on Zirkzee. But after the summer splurge and the exorbitant spend on Erik ten Hag's dismissal and Amorim's hiring, whether INEOS can afford a January move. Thanks for watching. See you next time.